Amo manggutong generation.
Yes. Love team. Romeo Vasquez.
Hello and welcome to our media forum, Wednesdays Happy at Kape. And we're happy to have a lot of guests this morning from the media. And of course, our guests today who are going to give us a lot of information regarding the current activities in the city of Davao. Of course, to make Mindanao known all over the country and all over the world. And before we start our forum, I'd like to turn over the mic to Iris.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to introduce our media friends present here today. We have Ms. Edith Isidro of DWAR, Ms. Jandy Esteban of GMA News, Sir Vic Tahod of DXRD SMNI, Ms. Danica Ranises of 93.9 IFM News Davao, Ms. Jessa Torrefranca of GMA Super Radio Davao, Sir Chuking Pandya of GMA Super Radio, Sir Bing Gonzalez of Mindanao Times, JC Amponga, Ramel Domingo, and Neil Atienza of PTV. And our facilitator today is Ms. Marilyn Roque. With Minda, we have Francis, Densho, Philip, Jay, Debbie, and me, Iris. And our partners, Ms. Shimi Caro of Ayala Mall, Breeze, and Ma'am Bibi Matamayor, and Ma'am Leda Jacinto of Habi at Kape. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Iris. And we'd like to introduce our guests, and we'd like to also hear their brief opening statements. We'd like to start with Mr. Dexter Bermudez, who's on the edge of, on the right side, the Senior Trade Industry Development Specialist, DTI 11.
Hello, good morning everyone. I'm Dexter Bermudez from DTI 11, and manday may buntag sa atong tanan.
And yes, thank you. And we'd like to hear from Mr. Romeo Vasquez Jr., Consumer Protection Division Chief of DTI 11.
Mabuhay and madayaw. Maayong buntag sa tanan. I'm Romeo Vasquez Jr., currently the Chief of the Regional Office, Consumer Protection Division. And in behalf of our Regional Director, RD Romeo Casanyaga, we would like to thank Minda for giving us this opportunity to share about our programs and services, especially our upcoming Consumer Welfare Month celebration. Daghang salamat.
Okay, thank you. Your mother must have been a fan of Filipino movies.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, and sorry, the lady, Miss Mariel, it's like my name has been cut into minus the end. Is it Meryl or Maril Malabad?
Hello everyone, good morning. So my name is Mariel S. Malabad and I'm the committee co-chair for the GovTech Mindanao Summit. Magandang buhay pa sa lahat.
Okay, so we'd like to start the questions from our guests, the media guests. Here's Vic Tahod of SMNI to ask the first question.
Good morning, Miss Marlene and Miss Irish of Minda, and to all our special guests for today's forum in Mindanao Development Authority. So my first question will be for Mr. Romeo Vasquez. Sir, dito po sa atin sa Mindanao at sa meron po kasing mga iba't ibang mga kumbaga nakakarating din sa atin ng mga citizen na nagsasabi na bakit may pagkakaiba po yung mga prices ng mga basic commodities sa iba't ibang lugar. So how true is it po? Nagkakaiba-iba po ba talaga ang mga basic commodities ng iba't ibang lugar o iba't ibang rehiyon sa bansa? Particularly dito sa Mindanao po.
Maybe our product and price monitoring,
Okay, sir.
Sir Dexter could answer.
Yes, Sir Dexter.
Yes, sir. Yung sa question on regards sa different prices here in Mindanao, sir. First, sir, DTI issued a suggested retail price for basic necessities and prime commodities. So, last issuance nito, sir, is last February 2025. So, not all products, items covered, sinasali sa SRP, sir. So, here, we have the canned sardines, processed milk, coffee, instant noodles, salt, laundry soap, bottled water, candles, canned meat, condiments, and batteries. Ito po yung nasa list ng SRP na inisyo ni DTI, which is in coordination po with the manufacturers in our head office. So before mag-release po ng SRP si DTI, so mayroon yung mga consultation talaga with the manufacturers. So other than that, sir, yung mga products na involved, if you observe, nakita natin sa posting sa DTI, yung pinalabas sabing SRP, may mga brands doon, sir, if you can see. It means na yung mga, kasi may question na, bakit in this specific supermarket, hindi kasali yung pang brands, ayan. So, meaning, sir, during sa pag-set up ng ganong mga brands na nakasali sa SRP is, yun po yung mga commonly available sa market natin, sir. So, during sa monitoring, sir, may mga products na na-mention mo kanina na in Mindanao, but we are speaking specifically for Region 11. So, during our monitoring, mayroong mga observation na mga products na kasali sa SRP, mayroong discrepancy sa SRP na pinalabas. So, as we observe, sir, we consider yung mga logistics. So, ang product natin coming from Manila sa Luzon, then during sa monitoring, far-flung areas, municipalities, meron talagang yung difference ng centavos, sir. With that, our field office price monitor, they will issue a letter of inquiry. So, letter of inquiry, sir, sa mga products, SKUs, yung mga stock keeping units, yun marami yun sa per items, may grammage. Yun, during observation nila, they submit their report to our regional office. So, weekly po yung submission ng mga reports. And sinasabit po namin yan sa head office through our CPAB, Consumer Policy Advocacy Bureau. So, doon, sir, any discrepancy observation during monitoring, doon po hinapakita, sir, may issuance ng LOI. So, mayroong explanation sa establishment why. So, doon po lumalabas, sir, na during sa yung markup nila, sa far-flung areas, for the consideration, and yun po ang supporting documents nila, sir, yung attached nila mga documents.
Sir, with that po, nagkakanda po ba tayo ng monitoring po talaga na hands-on po sa mga areas po?
Yes, sir. Weekly po yung monitoring ng price monitors natin here in Region 11. And nationwide na po yan. Speaking for Region 11, we have 6 provinces. We have Davao City Field Office, Davao del Sur Provincial Office, Davao Occidental Project Management Office, Davao del Norte Provincial Office, Davao de Oro Provincial Office, and Davao Oriental Provincial Office. So, yan po ang mga offices natin, yung price monitors natin ng mga, mga hardworking price monitors po ng Region 11 po na nagkakandak ng daily, weekly monitoring po.
Sir, bare months na po ngayon, sir. Meron po tayong mga products na in demand for bare months po. Paano natin matitiyak, sir, na sapat yung supply at matitiyak po na talagang tama yung presyo na binibenta po sa merkado po?
Yes, sir. Speaking of bare months, sir, no? In preparation sa holiday season, DTI nagpapalabas ang DTI ng, we call it, Noche Buena Price Guide. So, these are seasonal products na during, yun talaga ang season na medyo malakas talaga ang selling during this season, like for cocktail, macaron elbow, use mga for yung preparation natin sa Noche Buena, and New Year's Eve. So yun ang mga products, sir. So with that, ongoing na yung coordination ng CPAB to sa manufacturers natin kasi magpapalabas yan. Usually, ang price guide ng Noche Buena nasa November yan, sir. Then we send it to our sa mga retailers natin for guidance, then ang mga manufacturers, retailers, and sa mga consumers. So with that, sir, yun ang ano ng mga manufacturers during sa consultation na yung availability ng mga products during season po ng during holiday season. And i-add ko lang din, sir, we're talking about Burmans. Another product po na minomonitor ng DTI on products, that's seasonal items. If you can observe, pag Burmans na marami ng ilaw, so colorful lights, so Christmas lights. So when we buy Christmas light, we advocate na you purchase those with we say quality marks, yung may markings na PS, product standards, and ICC stickers. So we check those products na meron talagang markings. So para maano natin na when we buy those Christmas light, safe din yung saan paglagyan natin, sir. So anong nakalagay sa label, we read it carefully, and kung anong purpose intended, kasi may mga Christmas light na nakalagay lang, sir, indoor use, nilagay sa outdoor. So, yun mga specific purposes, dapat careful tayo, and meron tayong mga pagdududa, magtanong kaagad sa nearest DTI office. Visible kami sa webpage, FB page, meron kayong mga negosyo centers. So, yun, sir, magtanong lang kasi kung medyo mura ang produkto, medyo magduda tayo, we ask. So, meron tayong mga consumer tips, magpapalabas si DTI mga consumer tips for Noche Buena products and for Christmas lights.
For my last question na lang po siguro. Sir, paano sa mga consumer na gustong magreklamo po sa mga price? Saan po natin sila mag-guide?
Yes, sir. Marami po tayong platforms na pwede malapitan pag may mga consumer complaints pa tayo, sir. Unang-una, sir, we have our DTI field offices. Our regional office is at Monteverde, and we'd like to announce that our DTI Davao City field office has just transferred from Monteverde. Nandun na po sila sa Felcris Centrale Mall, our DTI Davao City field office. And we also have Davao del Sur, Davao del Norte, Davao Occidental, and Davao de Oro and Davao Oriental. Pag hindi sila makapunta sa DTI office, we also have negosyo center per municipality. So our negosyo center will facilitate their consumer complaints and will be referred to the appropriate focal person po na nag-handle ng consumer complaints handling. But of course, those who could not go to these offices can always message our Facebook pages. We have DTI Region 11, DTI Davao City, and just DTI plus the city or the municipality. These pages are very active naman po to cater all our consumer complaints.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you, Vic. And we'll call on Jandy Esteban of GMA. Biyahe pa sa Samal ni.
Hi to Sir Romeo. Sir, what are our efforts in the DTI 11 to ensure that our businesses uphold the consumer rights? And if we have available data, how many yung operations that we conducted in coordination with law enforcement agencies with these businesses who has violations sa Consumer Act?
Thank you, Ms. Jandy. Unang-una, as mentioned by Sir Dexter earlier, we regularly conduct monitoring and enforcement activities. This is to ensure that our business establishments are compliant with fair trade laws and other consumer-related laws. We, of course, issue notice of violations if found na may mga violations sila. Also, aside from monitoring and enforcement, we also do advocacy. So we do, hindi lang puro dakip si DTI, but also we want to really work hand in hand with our business establishments. Kasi si DTI, aside from consumer protection and consumer empowerment, we also have our mandate of enabling businesses. So we assist them and we conduct mga orientations, free orientations. In fact, we have our mga retail establishments like malls who regularly request DTI to conduct orientation for their employees, not just on fair trade laws, but also on improving their customer service. So we usually do this either before mag-open ang mall or after mag-close ang mall. So we do advocacy, and of course we do cooperation and coordination with relevant agencies, because kanina I also wanted to emphasize that when it comes to price monitoring, DTI's mandate is only on basic necessities and prime commodities. So there are other products like agricultural products na hindi na under the jurisdiction of DTI but of Department of Agriculture. So when it comes to data naman po, I have here as of August 31, 2025, for product standards na enforcement, monitoring and enforcement, as of August 31, we have already monitored 912 firms and business establishments. And out of these 912, 886 are found compliant, and 26 are non-compliant. So for these non-compliant business establishments, we issue notice of violation. And may penalties po na they need to pay if they are issued notice of violation.
Sir, can I know specifically what violations commonly they violated under the Consumer Act, this 26?
Usually po mga appliances, also mga LPGs that do not follow the product standards as stipulated under the Bureau of Product Standards. We have 109 products currently under the Bureau of Product Standards. So each one product may mga specific po na standards that they need to follow, and that is what we check when we do monitoring and enforcement.
Do you have any challenges in enforcing the consumer rights and this act? Do you have any challenges?
Yes, definitely may mga challenges because DTI is a lean agency, meaning we do not have enough manpower to really check all business establishments. Right now, we have the help of our negosyo centers, negosyo center business counselors, so they also assist us in our price and monitoring activities. But when it comes to product standards kasi medyo technical siya, so this cannot just be done by our negosyo center business counselor. So we have a composite team in DTI Region 11. Unfortunately, they are only composed of 6 to 10 people who do regular monitoring and enforcement. So that's one of the challenges. And of course, another challenge would be the willingness of the business establishments to comply. But in our experience, mostly naman po are willing to comply. Just that not all business establishments are really aware of the product standards. That's why we continually conduct mga product standards awareness and orientation so that more and more business establishments would be aware of what they need to comply when it comes to product standards.
Sir, may mga napapanagot na po ba tayong businessman?
Yes.
Ilan
In
po
fact,
yun?
as of August 31, we have already imposed 1,050,000 penalties for non-compliant establishments.
What's the period again, sir?
As of August 31, 2025,
Of this year, January to August?
for this year.
Okay. So, do we have a comparative report of 2024?
We have for last year, pero ang dala ko lang, Ma'am
Sige
Jan,
po.
is
Sige po.
for this year.
All right. Sir, can you also describe the rising of prices or the inflation in Davao region? How is it? Is it stable?
Right now, inflation is really increasing for I think not just for Davao region, but for all areas in the country. But inflation kasi has a lot of factors to consider. Number one mainly is on the supply and demand. We also have global challenges that affect or influence the prices of goods like fuel, and another is, as mentioned by Sir Dexter, on logistics, because a lot of our manufacturers really incur heavy or hefty costs when it comes to logistics. It is a challenge for the Philippines, who is an archipelago, kasi especially from island to island, it will have a lot of logistics to consider, and part of this is also when it comes to logistics, storage costs, especially that Philippines is really affected by a lot of typhoons, so production is also affected. So all these things, all these factors, and although of course there are efforts of the government that is also being done to mitigate the effect of rising costs. Part of these are of course what our national government, mga ayuda that our national government are giving people, especially those in the marginalized sectors.
Okay. Sir, do we have a number or percentage for that matter when it comes to the rising of inflation? Maybe for the past 2 months or any available that we have?
Inflation kasi po is not, it's not under DTI, but inflation rate is usually provided by the Philippine Statistics Authority. As to the current inflation rate, I don't have data for now po.
It's okay. Sir, you made mention about the manufacturers. How do you make sure that they are that the prices are reasonable despite the the logistics, the heavy cost?
This was also mentioned by Sir Dexter earlier. Our head office is regularly conducting consultations with our manufacturers, specifically or particularly for basic necessities and prime commodities. So in this consultation, we of course we do negotiations, especially in finalizing ng mga suggested retail price. It's finding the balance between benefiting the consumers, but also not at the expense of our manufacturers. So both sides are being considered, and to ensure that we really come up with the right suggested retail price, these manufacturers also present the costs and the cost to produce their products. And as I mentioned, nag-negotiate naman si DTI to lower the cost, and some of these manufacturers naman po are accommodating our request to lower down the prices.
Okay. Last question na lang, how often do we conduct the negotiations? How often do we conduct it?
Especially if we're publishing a new suggested retail price, before we publish any SRP, we consult these manufacturers. So maybe in a year, that's three or four times a year.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chandi. We'd like to call on Chuking, GMA Super Radio.
Sir, you mentioned kanina po as of August 31 katong ato ang data. Pero sa pagsulod karon sa Burman, sir, nabatay mga cases, sir, sa ato ang monitoring?
As of now, sir, wala pa because we are yet to start pa monitoring product standards for Burmans, as mentioned by Sir Dexter. This is in particular with our Christmas lights and primarily we check if this Christmas light have safety marks and also sa mga Noche Buena products if they are reasonably priced. But as of now, wala pa po kaming directive from the head office to do this monitoring kasi wala pa rin napapublish na price guide for Noche Buena products.
Sir, is there a sufficient supply of basic goods and holiday-related products to meet the expected surge in demand?
Yes, sir. As of the moment, sir, monitoring reports coming from our field officers, sir, prices and supply are all stable, sir, in Region 11.
My next question, sir, is what measures is DTI taking to prevent possible hoarding or profiteering by unscrupulous traders during the holidays?
On what specific product, sir?
Lahat po, sir.
Okay. For DTI, sir, we have jurisdiction, sir. Every agency, in Consumer Act 7394, hindi lang po DTI ang nagmamonitor, sir. So, they have DOH, we have Department of Agriculture concerning agri-products, and for DTI, processed meat and other products. So, yung sa DTI, sir, yung na-mention ko ganyan, canned sardines, canned meat, coffee, noodles. So, yun mga monitoring po namin na in our jurisdiction po. For DTI jurisdiction, for our specific products, so far, sir, stable yung supply and sufficient ang supply natin, sir.
Thank you, sir. Is DTI, sir, considering price freeze or stricter control if the cost of goods spikes as Christmas nears?
Pardon, sir?
Magpa-price freeze ba ta, sir? Price freeze.
No, sir. When you talk about price freeze, there is a declaration of state of calamity. So there was issuance on a specific LGUs or province or city. So dyan lang po tayo magpapalabas ang price freeze advisory, sir, on basic necessity. So indicate po yan dyan sa RA 7581, yun yung Price Act, Section 6. We call it automatic price control. So, i-freeze po si basic necessity lang. Hindi kasama si prime commodity. Kaya nga, there's a separation, distinguish si basic necessity in prime commodity. There are items na clear lang siya na basic necessity. So, si price freeze, basic necessity. While sa Section 7, we call it MPC or the mandated price ceiling, sir. Automatic, sir. Both basic necessity in prime commodity ang freeze, sir. Price.
Sir, clarify ko lang, sir, what message, sir, or advice can give sa mga consumer to being taken by the advantage or overpricing during karong Burman, sir?
Yes, sir. First, sa mga consumers, the usual na advocacy tips ginahatag, we provide to them. Always check price tag para mga items makita, we can see sa mga purchase na sa mga shelves na ka-display for sale, merong price tag para clear nga dili siya maano for profiteering. So that will be that's a prima facie evidence po na once you're selling a basic necessities na without price tag, pwede na yun siyang is a violation by the establishment. Then i-report po ng mga consumers na ini mga nakita sila during their purchases sa mga establishment po.
Thank you so much, sir. Sa GovTech po. Ma'am, sa rin GovTech, ma'am, kinsa itong mga participants?
Yes, sir. Hello, good morning. So GovTech, sir, is technically a gathering of over 200 mayors and governors from all over the 27 provinces here in Mindanao. And we will present to them 10 technology startups to exhibit their solutions to government problems po.
Ma'am, asa gani ni Kalos and asa
This will be held at the Pinnacle Hotel on September 24, 2025 po.
Ma'am, sa tong mga highlights aning mga activities.
So for our highlights, sir, there will be keynotes from the President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, the MINDA Chairperson Attorney Leo Tereso A. Magno, and the DIC Secretary Henry Ruel R. Aguda, sir.
Pero ang ato yung main goal aning activity, ma'am.
So the main goal, sir, is at least after the event, we will be able to enable at least 8 startups to pilot startup-driven solutions po.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chuking. We'd like to call on Gio of Mindanao Times.
Hello, good morning. Question to Ma'am Maril. Ma'am, GovTech is a event of Davao Startup Week po, no? Is this the first ever event pa?
Yes, sir. So GovTech is part of the flagship event of the Davao Startup Week, and it's the first of its kind here in Mindanao. So we are very honored to be supported by MINDA in this endeavor, sir.
Sino yung partner agencies for this event, ma'am?
So right now we are partnering with MINDA, sir, as our main sponsor for this event, and together with the Ideas Davao, Upgrade InnoLab, DICT, and DOST po.
Na-mention man kanina yung goal, ma'am, no? In line lang din siya sa yung parang goal din ng Startup Week, ma'am, to champion innovation. Ano yun? Yung innovation,
Yes,
no?
sir, definitely. For Davao Startup Week po, ang theme po natin this year is Grassroots Global Reach, Scaling Innovation from the South. So with this GovTech Summit, now we aim to at least empower our local startups here in Mindanao to enable the B2G model for businesses po.
Do you plan to make this an annual event of Davao Startup Week?
Yes,
ma'am?
sir, definitely po. Minda actually raised this with us. So we will do a MOA signing between Minda and Upgrade InnoLab to make this GovTech event an annual event po.
And then last question na lang din, ma'am. Yung target participants ito is government officials, ma'am, no?
Yes, sir, government officials from all over here in Mindanao po.
Yung 27 provinces.
27 provinces po, 200 mayors and governors po.
Okay, sige. Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Gio. Now we would like to entertain an online question. Iris?
For Ms. Mariel, how does Investone 101 differ from other investment initiatives, and why is Davao and Mindanao a strategic focus for this program?
Come again po, ma'am.
How does Investone 101 differ from other investment initiatives, and why is Davao and Mindanao a strategic focus for this program?
So Investors 101 po is technically, we will be doing workshops for investments here in Davao. So this is different from all of the other investment forums here in the Philippines, since we will be doing a workshop first and then a networking after po.
Then, many local entrepreneurs hesitate to seek investors. What confidence-building measures does your initiative offer to bridge this gap?
Yes po, as I've mentioned a while ago, that there will be a workshop for investment. So this is one of our ways to bridge that gaps po.
Then lastly, for our online question, how can Mindanao harness technology and innovation to attract not just local but also global investors?
So Mindanao, ma'am, has very vibrant talents and ideas, and it's just about connecting them with the government, no, and really scaling up these solutions po.
Okay, I'd just like to find out, do we have investors in manufacturing here? Because I think if we manufacture products, we bring down costs. So what are the needs of Davao for this manufacturing industries? What do we need actually to bring down the cost of prices, since Mindanao is known as the food basket of the country? Would you know what manufacturing industries are being built, or what do we need in manufacturing here?
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Previously, before I was appointed as Chief of the Consumer Protection Division, I was also an investment promotion officer for DTI Davao del Sur. And one of the primary concerns of investors, especially foreign investors, is always ease of doing business. the process of setting up businesses. They hate tedious processes. So as much as possible, they want to be facilitated by the government na madali lang ang process, pagkuha ng business permit, pagkuha ng environmental compliance certificate from DENR, all of these requirements, they hate red tapes, they hate corruption. So as much as possible, if we want foreign investors to come in, we need to really improve our ease of doing business. Another is the cost of doing business, the cost of electricity, the cost of water, the cost of labor. So it also comes into the formula. Last week, we visited Gantungan Steel Corporation. It's a steel manufacturing establishment owned by a Chinese investor. So they have been setting up the business since 2018 or 2019, and they just started operating because there were a lot of hurdles, challenges to hurdle. One is the provision of electricity. Because it's a big facility, they really need a big supply amount of electricity, and it was just addressed this year. So they have already started operating, and for now, one batch of steel products are being produced, but they are looking forward to next year na dalawang batch na per day ang mag-operate, because as they increase the batch, they will also need workers. So yes, we really need foreign investors, especially in the manufacturing industry, because number one, it will generate employment, and as you've said, ma'am, it can also be a factor of lowering down costs, especially for basic necessities and prime commodities.
This steel factory is not the one in Mahayag, it's different? It's another factory. And I'd like also to know how the prices of goods are affected by the rising cost of transporting goods, because I think the freight rates have increased. So how does it affect our goods?
Yes, ma'am. With the consultation within the manufacturers and the office, that's already took in consideration. So, in setting up the SRP of the basic necessities, ma'am, they also consider the factors international. So, international, ma'am, concerning po yung mga raw materials, most of the raw materials of in producing the basic necessities, mostly po yan imported po, ma'am, imported. So, for example, yung mga tin cans, yung mga buttermilk, skim milk, HDP, PE, po yung mga plastics in making those products, ma'am. So, yun, that's imported raw materials. So, in setting those prices po, SRP's price adjustment, meron po yung siyang effect sa setting sa SRP. So, that's, hindi naman siya gano'ng kalakihan, ma'am. It's a minimal, there's a percentage. Then, na-mention ni Sir Gania, there's a reasonable. Once na-present ni manufacturer, any price adjustment po, ma'am, ng kanilang products, so DTI, ano na po nila, ma'am, again po si DTI sa any recommended price adjustment ng concerned manufacturers.
Okay. We have one question from Sheila Lisandra.
Online question.
Online, okay.
Okay. This is for Sir Dexter. How do we monitor po ang mga online sellers selling Christmas decors and other products?
Yes, ma'am. For online, DTI, ma'am, brick and mortar establishment, we do monitor, so physical and online. So we have our agency in Manila, ma'am, the FTEB, Fair Trade Enforcement Bureau, they conduct online monitoring for product selling sa online with the mandatory products that we need yung quality marks, yung PS and ICC. And yan po ang inaano ni DTI, especially when establishment apply for sales promo permit. Yan, isa sa mga requirements for products na we need to apply sa i-post sa online, we require po na yung mga mandatory certificates na products na, kasi na-mention ni Sir Gan, we have 109 mandatory products as of now. So kasama yan mga consumer electronics appliances and mga steel products. So yun po ang ni-require ni DTI.
Sir, good morning po. Sir, add ko na lang din po. Kailan po ba maglalabas ng kailan po ba ilalabas ng DTI po yung SRP po sa mga prices ng sa mga Noche Buena po?
Yes, sir. For Noche Buena, we call it a price guide. Noche Buena price guide is different from the SRP, suggested retail price and basic necessities, because Noche Buena price guide, guide lang po siya because these products are seasonal. So, seasonal products, ano na siya, nasa monitoring, November, December. Yun ang usual na ano natin, sir, sa products. November, sir, magpapalabas si DTI ng price guide for Noche Buena. So, nasa website, ipopost namin yan sa mga official website, FB pages ni DTI.
Okay po. And add ko na lang din po, sir, about po sa mga Christmas light po. Paano po natin masisiguro na yung binibenta po ng mga nagbebenta po na tama po yung mga Christmas light na binibenta nila?
Yes, sir. For Christmas light, we have our listing. Retailers, consumers, pwede sila visit sa official website sa bps.gov.ph. Nandun po yung list ng certified Christmas light, PS and ICC. And we have sa sa mobile application natin, ICC verification system. You can download po yan sa Google or sa iOS. So ICC verification system. Then for ICC, it will search for import commodity clearance. Yung sticker, sir, once you scan, lalabas mo yung details ng products and lahat ng details, manufacturers, anong klaseng LED lights yan siya. So for ICC lang yan, sir, mabe-verify ni consumer natin, sir. And for PS, yun lang, sir, sa website muna tayo, sir, kasi marami yung sa PS din.
Okay. Add ko na lang din po, sir. Ano po yung mga karaniwang reklamo po na natatanggap ng DTI po tuwing Burmans po in regards po sa mga Christmas light po na binibili ng mga residente po? Mamimili.
Yes, sir. Sa Christmas lights, we do publish consumer tips for Christmas lights. Yung plug niya, sir, usually yung plug, madali mo lang siya ma-push. So, yung mga usual yung wire, medyo manipis. So, then, once mura, magduda. So, yan ang yung mga quick tip natin on consumer Christmas lights.
May dagdag po pa kahit tayo na mga pahimagno lang po sa mga bibili po ngayon, sir. Sa mga
to all consumers, retailers, be always vigilant in selling and purchasing those products in yung mga mandatory products sa DTI. Kung may pagduda alinlangan, we ask DTI po para we can address yung issue po ng any discrepancy sa price, markings. Yun, madali lang po tawagan si DTI.
Okay, thank you. And we hope our Christmas will be brighter and mas masarap yung ating mga fruit salad. Napakamahal ang ating canned goods. They've really increased like 100% yung mga, imported canned salad. Yeah, we're encouraging our fellow Dabaweños to maybe do local. We have a lot of fruits, yes. So I think that will also make our Dabaweños and our kababayans realize how important fresh products are, because in the malls and in the sari-sari stores, I think prices have gone very high. And since bare months na nga ngayon, we hope the prices will be stabilized, hindi magpatuloy ng increase, because we heard that plane fares have also increased. And so that is one problem we have to tackle, the transportation cost of goods, and maybe vigilance also in watching our businessmen in increasing. Sometimes food products are really increasing every month. as we approach December. So I think we'd like to give a chance for those ambush interviews. We'd like to ask our guests to please give us the closing statements. We'd like to start with Ms. Meryl Malaban.
So I'd like to thank Habi at Kape and Minda for inviting the GovTech Summit for this press con po. And I'd like to invite everyone to attend the GovTech Summit, which will be happening on September 24, 2025 at the Pinocchio Hotel. The day after that will be the Mindanao's Startup Ecosystem Summit on September 25, still on the same venue. And then the day after, on the 26th, will be the investment workshop. And then on the 27th will be the awards night. Thank you so much po.
Thank you very much. And now we'd like to hear from Mr. Romeo Vasquez Jr.
So once again, daghang salamat to Minda for giving us this opportunity. And yes, we really encourage everyone to be informed consumers because as they say, an informed consumer is an empowered consumer. If we know our rights and responsibilities as consumers, we also help develop a fair and competitive marketplace. So this is in time also because in October, we will be celebrating our Consumer Welfare Month where we promote consumer awareness and empowerment. So we encourage everyone to follow our Facebook pages. We will have a lot of activities. We will share a lot of tips, consumer tips, so that we can be we can become more informed consumers and of course more empowered consumers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we'd like to hear from our other guest, Mr. Dexter Bermudez.
Thank you, Minda, for this opportunity. A well-informed and vigilant consumer is the best protected consumer. Good day.
Okay, salamat. And here's Iris.
Before our thank yous, I would like to announce that there will be a Mindanao Development Forum 2025 on October 1 to 2, 2025 at Dusit Thani. The theme for this year is Strengthening Partnerships and Building a Better Mindanao. I am initially inviting our media friends. There will be a press con on October 1. Just wait for our media advisory. Then, on behalf of the Mindanao Development Authority, I would like to thank our guests, DTI and Ms. Mariel. Thank you very much. We've learned a lot from the discussion today on consumer welfare and price and product monitoring. And then good luck on your upcoming event also, Ms. Mariel, to the GovTech Summit and other activities. Thank you to our facilitator, Ms. Marilyn Roque. Thank you to our media friends present here today, our media friends monitoring online, our online viewers in our Minda Facebook page, our partners Ayala Malls, Abriza, and Habi at Kape. And thank you also to Can Howell Multimedia Services for their assistance today. Thank you very much, everyone. See you again next episode. And inviting everyone, all our media friends, to join our guests for a short photo session and for our guests to just stay in your seats.
Okay.